to do
As
so.
they continue, a good chunk of formerly rebel-held eastern Aleppo has fallen to regime forces. Is that something that you've brought up with your Russian partners in these talks?
We haven't missed an opportunity to continue to raise our deep concerns, indeed outrage, at the continued bombing and siege of Aleppo, and we'll continue to do that in every forum and through every venue that we have available to us.
Is it your understanding that Russia is an active participant in the assault on eastern Aleppo?
Well, again, I'm not going to get into an order of battle here, as I've said. What I will say, and we've said before, is that Russia has considerable influence over Assad. And when they have shown in the past that they're willing to use that influence for a positive outcome, it makes a difference. What we've continued to assert is that Russia bears the ultimate responsibility here for what the Syria regime is doing and being permitted to do in terms of the devastating civilian casualties and destruction of civilian infrastructure, to include hospitals, in and around Aleppo. And we've made that clear time and time again. But in terms of whose aircraft is flying and all that, I don't have that kind of information, and wouldn't be appropriate for me to deliver it from this podium in any event. But clearly, tactical aircraft continue to bomb neighborhoods in Aleppo. Clearly, there's still shelling. Hospitals now are all but shut down. I saw a statistic this morning that for the roughly 120,000 children that we estimate, the UN, estimates, is in Aleppo, there's 2 pediatricians. Unfortunately, many of the casualties that are being suffered by children don't necessarily need pediatric care, but it just goes to the point that medical professionals are increasingly at a loss to take care of just basic health necessities there in Aleppo. And I saw a quote from a resident of Aleppo that their concerns are now beyond just food and water. It's the slaughter, and slaughter was the word that this individual used.
Well, I don't have any more on Syria, so.
Could I?
Yeah.
Syria? Syria? Okay. Could we stay on Syria? Now,
Sure.
you're saying slaughter, right?
I didn't say that. I said, as resident of Aleppo, referred to the fact
Do you believe statements that speak of slaughter in Aleppo?
We've talked about atrocities. We've talked about the utter disregard for civilian life. And yes, I think by any stretch, if you just look at what's been happening on there, innocent people are being slaughtered in Aleppo.
Is there any way to have some sort of figures on what's going on, the death ratio or the slaughter ratio that is
Saeed,
ongoing in Aleppo?
you can go online and look at these reputable aid organizations that are keeping track as best they can, and they'll tell you that literally, thousands of people in Aleppo are being affected, killed, wounded, and affected on any given day.
Okay. Now, considering the fact that in the portions of Aleppo, which are the larger portions of Aleppo, that are under government control with about 1.5 million people, where, life goes on semi-normally and so on, wouldn't it be better once the government or government forces regain control over eastern Aleppo, that they can provide those kind of services that have been denied them?
Government forces?
Yes. Syrian government forces.
Syrian government forces providing services to the people of Aleppo.
Are they not doing that in western Aleppo, which is the larger portion of Aleppo?
The only thing that I've seen the Syrian government prove willing to do in Aleppo is kill innocent people, destroy infrastructure, and try to reduce the city to rubble. I'm not aware, and look, I'm not on the ground, but I'm not aware that they're, that they're bringing in baskets of food and water and restoring electricity and trying to bring life back to normal in Aleppo. I've seen absolutely zero evidence, and I don't think you have either.
Have you gathered, or have you been able to gather any kind of information on how things are going, or what is the situation in western Aleppo under government control? In terms of schools and hospitals and things like that?
I'm not capable of breaking it down by neighborhood here. Again, every bit of information we get, and we get it from a lot of different places, continues to tell a story of a city under siege, a dwindling population that is increasingly being killed by its own government, with the support of backers of that government, to include Russia. And again, you don't have to look any further than going online or looking at television coverage to see what's going on there. And it's been going on steadily now, day after day after day.